All right, so this is our annual meeting. Um, so I'm recording it so that anybody can watch it, but it's legal that we're doing our annual meeting. Okay. So this is for AeroCygnet. People are watching. I want to be able to see what our YouTube channel is, what our Gmail account is, and the website. So people can come back and look at this right now. The annual meeting, present are volunteer board members Tyler Gary James, John Berry, and me, Wayne Dean. So our agenda today is to go over, obviously, we got approved the September meeting. So are there any additions, deletions, corrections to the minutes from the September meeting? Seeing none, so the September meeting are approved. We'll also go over our financials today. I'll give you an update of where we stand. Talk about the loan payback that we have to talk about, and we'll need a motion to talk about that. Then we'll go over our 25 goals and new business. Talk about our campaign, $45,000 in 45 days through our bid sponsorship program, and then adjournment. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections to the agenda? Okay, seeing none. All right, so we started in September of 2024 and actually filed with the state of Colorado to be a nonprofit organization. So we had to incorporate, and then that was $700 that I paid to get us incorporated as a 501c3 with the state of Colorado. And then in February, we did finally get from the IRS. First of all, you have to file what's called an EIN number, like any business will get our EIN number, and we had to file with the state to be a nonprofit. Then we had to file with the IRS, and we did an expedited, actually got the approval in February as a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization. We raised $7,000 in donations over the year, but we received a $5,400 loan from a supporter from Mike, but I had to guarantee it as personally. So Mike actually made the loan to me, then I made the loan to the association so that we'd be able to get the money to give the Zenith aircraft. So we did that. So the loan was personally guaranteed by me that I have to pay back Mike. So the nonprofit's going to pay me back so that I can pay back Mike, but I personally guaranteed it with some stock options that I had. So for some reason, Mike wanted to have some collateral. So if we default on it, then it comes out of my stock options that I surrendered to him in exchange. So what I'd like is a motion from somebody to say that yes, our next $5,400 that we raise can be used to go back to pay back the loan. All right, so we have a motion from Tyler that we next $5,400 that we raise will be used to pay back the loan. John seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, legally that's done. Okay. To give you an idea, that we sent $5,000 to Zenith to cover the tail that we built at the county fair in September. The tail cost about $3,000, so we actually have $2,000 sitting already with Zenith to be used toward the additional cost of what we need to do to build the plane. And again, I think the whole idea of building the plane is that once we have the plane built with the folding wings, we can start taking it around different events. It becomes easier to raise money, and people get to see it. So the priority is to really try and get to raise the money to, we need about $30,000 to Zenith to finish the airplane. Okay, then we'll need another 20 to 30 for an engine. But I think even if we don't have an engine and having a plane, even if we don't complete the engine, having a plane that we take around would be kind of nice to do. So with the loan, we had total deposits in our account at Evolution's Bank last year of $12,400. Today we got $77 in there, of which a couple hundred of it is an additional contributions from me. The total program services, the flight simulator, tools we bought, parts, everything we did, we spent most of the money, obviously. So I want to give you a breakdown of where it is. So when you do a nonprofit, which you have according to the 50s, actually. You can sit there and say, okay, your money can be divided into different categories. So we have public health education. Public health education, or public education, educating people about it. You can't really fundraise unless you're educated about what you do. So the cost, instead of saying the cost of the brochures that we made, the flyers, the promotional values, the website that we have, all the things we have, the Zephy and all the different sites we have, really fall under public education. Because if you go to the website to make a contribution, you're being educated first on what we do. And so we spent about $3,111 for public education. Services, going out to the public, doing things for the public, having the kids come in, doing things, let them come in and do the flight simulator. We had over, I think it was about 250 kids that did the flight simulator, right? You got a lot of people come through already participate with that. Program services, that's the actual, like the airplane itself. Remember, we're using the airplanes to take kids up for exploratory flights, teach them how to build an airplane, so even if they don't have a pilot, they can get into aviation. So when you look at that 7403, that is some of the money we spent, $5,000 that we spent through Zenith aircraft we put in there. Management in general, pens, paper clips, that kind of stuff, the small things to run the organization. We are not being charged for rent right now from the Business Club of Colorado. Business Club of Colorado has given us the space in here for the classrooms, that kind of thing. So we're not paying anybody's staff anything right now. Our fundraising costs would be like travel to go to different events like Sun and Fun to try and find sponsors. So it breaks down that way. So totally we've spent $12,323, and that leaves us a balance of $73 or $77 left in the account. See the chart that we have over here kind of gives it a better understanding of where the money goes. So, you know, you can see that our fundraising cost is the purple area, our management general is kind of small, our public services, you know, more than half of the money is going to the purpose of the organization. Questions, comments?
Do we have any more plans for fundraising?
Yeah, that's coming up in next year.
Yeah, 45 and 45.
Yeah.
But do we have anything for the summer? It was not up yet. So that's if we can.
We have, you know, we still have sponsorship, and then we have the thing we can do more grant writing. So I'll get into that next kind of thing. So our 26 goals, number one is build the plane by June. The plane development. And of that, we're going to have a sponsorship program. So we already have our registration number with the FAA. So when you're building an airplane, you can already pay the $12 to pay for the reserve that number. So our number is like normally you'd call, hey, Cessna 2908 Delta or Cessna 881 Bravo. We are Zenith 750 Sierra, Charlie Sierra. So it goes right with that plane is the 750.
Do you say 750 or do you say 750?
Typically you go 750. Zenith 750, Charlie Sierra. So we already got that reserved on it. So, so now what we need to do is sponsorships. There are 8 sponsorships available for putting sponsors on the airplane. So we're going to one major sponsor gets their name on the right and left column. One sponsor can have the right wing. One sponsor can have the left wing. The sponsor for the instruments and the cockpit, basically. We can get a sponsor for the landing gear, and then we already have a sponsor for everything that Summit Aircraft is doing for us. Jason and the guys at Summit have been great. So they've got the right side tail already, and then they also, so we got the left side tail. So there's 8 sponsorship opportunities available. How we're going to set that up is we've got a site now, Bid Aero Online. Bid Aero Online. It takes you directly to the site that we've already set up, where people can bid for the airplane. All right, parts of the airplane, like a silent auction. It's bidding, instead of buying a product, you're buying parts of the airplane, basically. So when you go to spot, it's got right here, like the premier engine sponsor. Bidding starts at 2,000. We got one bid, so we're at 2,550, and you can bid up there. starts at only 1,000 and you can bid. And the way we set it up is if you bid over $5,000, but when you bid over $5,000, I mean, if somebody puts at 4,000, they can get it. But if 5,000 and you win the bid, we closed up September, or I mean September 15th, you have exclusivity for your industry. So if somebody bids and says, I want to be the only aircraft parts supplier, used parts supplier, and they bid $7,000, that's the highest bid, then we won't go after somebody else on the airplane. We'll take general donations, but we'll only have one. If somebody says, hey, Honda Motors, I want to be the only airplane engine sponsor, they get their name on the plane. So again, we're selling off the counter, the right, the left tail, the fuselage, right and left side, landing gear, and cockpit. So, and we also have a buy now price. So we already did the brochure. The brochure's already got a number on it. So right now, if somebody says, hey, I don't want to worry about bidding, I don't want to do it, I just want to be the engine sponsor, 15 grand and the bidding stops. So each one, when they go by, read these things. So what do the sponsors receive? Sponsors get obviously their name, logo, and part of the they did it and what. They get their name, logo on our portable flight simulator that we'll take around. Like we've taken this flight simulator to the fair. We got different things. When we take it around to different events, they get their name on that. They get an all our YouTube channel videos that we produce. And you see at the end of this one, we got all our sponsors. Their name and logo on all of our literature that we produce. Name and logo on the booth that when we take it around to Sun and Fun or EAA. The reason my goal is to have the plane built in June is even if it's not flyable, we have got our aircraft worthiness certificate. Still like the trailer, take it to Oshkosh to the EAA. So, anyway, so the sponsor is going to get thousands of impressions. And the whole idea is, hey, can we raise 45,000 in the next 45 days, starting January 1 through February 15th? Have this online bid. And by the way, Zephy is a program where we're not paying for that service to produce it. Zephy is free. All it does is if somebody makes a donation to us, it asks them, hey, would you like to help support our cause, make your own contribution. There are other sites where they take a 10%, but Zephy is a really good site for us to be able to get this and launch for free. So again, we're also looking for special consideration for any kind of donations. Like if somebody wants to donate the full instruction that we want, the Garmin or NIA or JB, these different engine manufacturers of the glass panel, then they still get sponsorship in lieu of a cash donation for their product donation. But the engine, we're looking for somebody that if somebody donates the engine, the suitable engine for us, they become the sponsor on the engine. Okay. So again, if people just go to the website, the big arrows, matter of fact, if you go to AeroCygnet.org, our website, it automatically has a link there too to go to this bid site. So I've rebranded the website already so that we can start sending people to that. I've also come up with over an Excel spreadsheet over 100 aviation companies. I'm starting to get links to so that we can just do a campaign that I want to do a touch program where one, we touch them with an email of, hey, here's our website, go look at this website about sponsorship. That's not enough to get them excited. Two, we'll send a postcard with all the information directly to their promotions director. Hey, we sent you an email, but here's the link, go look at this. Then we'll do another follow-up phone call, and then we'll do a follow-up blast to, hey, here's where the bidding starts. For the next 45 days to get the money we need to finish the project. So if somebody just wants to make a general donation, there's a site there too for just general donations. So if they don't get the bid, but they still want to contribute, that is again, there's our contact information. I guess I don't really need unless there's some way that we need a vote to approve this campaign. There is. Yeah, it's really spending any money yet to promote it, but that's the so I'll kind of talk about some of our current sponsors that we already have. So those people who are watching online, our annual members that don't understand, this is where we're at so far. We got this much built to the airplane. We've got the airplane payout built. We've got the flight simulator built. I made an agreement with freepilottraining.com, Jason Campbell, where we'll be able to do ground school in here for $45. Anybody who wants to learn how to do ground school, they can do that unless we get another major sponsor from some other school. That's a good price, yeah. So we'll be able to do online ground school and instructor-led supplementing it so that students can ask questions about, hey, I'm not really sure if I understand this or that. So our sponsors, Summit Flight Training has agreed to do a lot for us. Matter of fact, provide us with some discounts on scholarships to give kids the opportunity to go through their flight training for sport pilot. Jason's also talked to their mechanic about doing some mechanic over for us. So they're giving us more than $5,000 in in-kind donations. He was also the winner of the Level Aviation that we had that we're giving away. So we got one for the airplane, but they won the drawing we did at the county fair. Zenith Aircraft has given us a great discount of over 10% on the plane, so that's why we're able to go with this plan that we did. SciTech has given us all our technical services and helping us with the building of the website. Level Aviation, as I said, has been supported, donated the local one that we use as a fundraiser. This is Colorado donating space so that we can do the ground school in here. Right Effects is a magazine, a local magazine that did a great article for us and given us some free promotions. Waste-based graphics, Janelle has done our logo and is working on helping us build some brochures. Free Growth Services, our company is providing a lot of financial support getting us started. Perfect Client Engagement is helping us out. Integrity Health Consultants making donations to our members here. Services will give us a lot of expertise and support on building the airplane. Build it. 1472 Fire Protection. Any of the pilots that are watching right now, you need to reach out. John, what's the website?
1472protection.com.
So if you're ever concerned about a lithium battery fire or other fires in your cockpit, you might want to reach out to John and talk to him about some of the solutions you have, product solutions you have to that. As more and more planes are putting, iPads and different battery components in the cockpit, they need to think about that.
Yep.
So, Peace of Mind Services, Jeff, one of our life giving us some support financially. The Rotary Club of Fort Collins donated $3,500. They're one of our biggest sponsors toward that $12,000 that we already talked about. And Aaron there, you can see him doing the raft, the vehicle raft, and he's already agreed to donate all of the time to help us when we finish the airplane to completely wrap it and finish it in the same white and blue stuff. So, anything from you guys as far as the annual meeting, questions, financials, questions, goals, anything else you want to? That's the last slide. So, if there's anything else,
We have to send people to the website for the donations and everything you said, credit card processing or anything like that.
yeah, as soon as you go to the website, it's all you can enter your information, credit card, and everything could be done. So, very simple to make a contribution by going to AeroCygnet.org. And everybody's watching. Nobody's brought it up. Cygnet is a young swan, so that's where the name comes that I came up with. It's AeroCygnet.
We might want to re-identify what age group we're looking for here.
So for the students that we're looking for, it's a great question. We mostly 14 and up. One has to be about 14, we think, to really start thinking about ground school, getting involved, because you got to be 16 to start taking the lessons, the actual flight lessons, 17 to get your sport pilot license. You know, as much as some kids would like to get involved younger, the problem is that they're really going to be too many years before they really do anything anyway. Now we are a little bit different than Ray scholarships and some of the other good scholarship programs for aviation. Is most of those are focused toward the high school age. So when somebody graduates from high school, maybe they go to junior college for a couple of years for something, and then they realize, boy, I don't want to do that. I'd really like to get back into being an aircraft mechanic or something. They're 20 years old. They're out of age. They've aged out almost. Not in our program. Our program is 14 on up, and then you as a board will make the decisions as to who gets scholarships. So we want to encourage those kids that are still, 18, 19, 20 to get involved in our program. So I guess I would say 14 on up, and I don't want to, unless you guys have any feelings, I don't want to.
I think that's about the right age, because,
I don't want to break it off. I don't want to say, okay, immediately if you're over 23, you don't qualify. We'd still like to get somebody who's 23 and would like to get involved.
Passionate enough.
Yeah, that has the passion, but they don't qualify medically or financially. Again, go to the website. We didn't spend a lot of time about what our mission is because that's all explained pretty detailed on the website. Okay. All right, so if I'm seeing no additional business, this meeting is adjourned at 11:45 a.m. on December 23rd, 2025.
Very good.